Hi, crew. So today we're going to continue our discussion about using ratios, which we love so much. And our goal today is how can we use ratios to compare quantities. So we're going to use them to be able to compare different goals from the fundraiser that we've been talking about all week long. Before we do that, we need to do a little bit of reading today. So you guys should be open up to, is it page 23?
Yeah.
Yes, we found it. Okay. So we're open to page 23. Can I have a volunteer who would like to read the first paragraph? Awesome. Here we go. All right, nice, loud, and clear so we can all hear you.
In problem 1.4, you used fractions to find parts of the sixth graders' fundraising goals. Fraction strips and pictures such as fundraising thermometers are sometimes called tape diagrams. This is because a fraction strip is a long skinny rectangle, like a long piece of tape.
Thank you very much. So the next part that we read, I want you guys to think of and look for 3 different ways that we can describe ratios. Can I have a volunteer who will read the next 2 paragraphs? Go for it.
In this problem, you will use fractions to find parts of the other goals, and you will use ratios to compare the amounts raised by different grades. A ratio comparison statement uses both numbers and words to show how 2 quantities are related. To write ratios, you can use the word for every, to, or colon. For example, you may write these comparison statements.
Keep going.
For every $60 the 6th graders raise, the 7th graders raise $90. Or, the ratio of the 6th grade goal to the 7th grade goal is 60 to 90. Or, the ratio of the 6th grade goal to the 7th grade goal is 60 to 90.
Yeah, when you see that colon, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to say the word to. All right, so there were 3 different ways. On your finger, show me how many ways you can think of to describe ratios. You can look back at your book. All right, Kira, give me one.
You can do a colon.
You can do a colon. You're exactly right. Awesome. Who has another one? Brandon D, what's yours? Yeah, you can use the word to. Brandon T, give me the last one.
Every.
Yeah, you can use the sentence for every. So if we set this up like a ratio table, we could say, we could have the 6th grade goal and the 7th grade goal. And the 6th grade goal was 60 and the 7th grade goal was 90. One thing I want to make sure that you guys know is that, do you see how this says the ratio of, let me color code these a little bit for you. The ratio of the 6th grade goal to the 7th grade goal is 60 to 90. So based on that order, we know that 60 goes with the 6th graders and the 7th graders goes with 90. Okay? So we're going to use some of these ratios to help us look at some goals. All right, please turn your page to page 24. Turn your book to page 24. And we have some new thermometers here today. And before we dive in, I have some questions for you, because we should really know what we are looking at. My first question for you is, what information is being displayed in the graph? Okay? Will you please turn to your partner and tell them what information is being displayed in the graph? Go for it. Alana, can you tell us what information is being displayed on this graph?
Yeah. So, they're showing how much money the 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and the teacher
here's my next question. What is each group's goal? So if we look at the 6th grade goal, Emma, what is their goal?
The 6th grade.
Yeah.
6th grade goal is
$300. And even though it's a little bit tricky to see on the smart board up here, yep, it is 300. All right, what about the 7th grade goal, Sophia? Oh, she's not here today. What about the 7th grade goal, Lily? $450. All right, thank you very much. The next goal, Luna, what would our next goal be?
For the 8th graders goal, it is $150.
Yeah, the 8th graders are at $150. And last but not least, the teachers. What's their goal, Arati?
300.
All right, so crew, thank you. I'm gonna circle it down here. There's a reason that I didn't circle it at the very top of the teachers, and we're gonna get to that in just a minute. Well, do you guys wanna tell me? Are you dying to tell me? Penny, how come I didn't circle it at the top? Oh, they exceeded their goal. The teachers got a 5. They exceeded. You're exactly right. They went above and beyond. All right, why are these thermometers different heights? I heard some of you starting to talk about this. Why are they different heights, Oliver?
Well, it depends on the amount of the goal.
Yeah. So I heard you say something interesting. You were asking some good questions. Do you remember what questions you were asking your partner?
Well, why is 153, well, the 8th grade goal and the teacher's goal the same height?
Yeah, so if we look here and we look at these two goals, this is 150 and this one is 360, but they're the same height. So that's kind of crazy. We haven't really seen that before. So what this is going to require you to do today is to really think about what is your goal. And so if we look also at, right, these two match up, this line would be a whole for the 8th graders, but it would only be a fraction for the 7th graders. So you're going to have to think really hard about your fractions as you are going through this today. And my last question for you guys was, why did the teachers go above their line, but you guys already answered that. So I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes to work with your partner. What I would like you to do today is to figure out the fraction of their goal that each group has raised and how much money that represents. How many minutes do you have? Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and check out, after you guys have had time to work, we're going to talk about what fraction has been collected, and we are also going to talk about how much money that is. So Peyton, you're the first stick that I pulled.
Yes.
For the 6th graders, can you please tell us what fraction they have raised?
We got 6.
Okay. How'd you do that?
So we took the measurement. Oh, that looks a lot smaller, but we took the measurement from the top, like how much they haven't raised, and we see if that could fit, and it fit.
How many times?
6.
Okay. Let's see, so I'm going to make 6 of these. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Look, it does go in 6 times. Okay, so that would be 5 6. So then tell me how you figured out how much money it would be.
So we did 300 divided by 6, which equals 50,
Okay, how did you pick 6?
because 6 is the fraction.
Okay, it's your denominator. It tells you how many parts. So for every $50 they raise, how much money is that? Or how much of their goal is that?
1/6.
Okay. All right.
And so we multiplied 50 times 5 to get to 5 6, which is $250.
Sounds good. Nice work. So, like I said, our ratio statement for this could be for every 1/6 the sixth graders raise. Girls, I need you to listen. They've raised $50. All right, let's check out the 7th grade goal. We are, here we go. Brooke, what fraction did you think that they had raised?
For which one?
For the 7th graders. Well, tell me how you figured that out. Okay. All right. And how many times did you think that it fit? A total of how many? If we include this one up here that I'm putting.
3.
All right. So let's see. Clone. 1. That green is very bright. 2. 3. Looks good. Okay. So this would be 2/3 for the 7th grade goal. I'll move that down just a little bit. And then, Brooke, how did you figure out how much money 2/3 was? Okay. And what information did that give you?
If we look answer the first fraction,
Okay.
and that was 150.
Okay. So if we say if they have raised 1/3 of their goal, that would be 150. So if they raised 2/3 of their goal, how much would that be? 300. Who would like to give me a for every statement for the 7th graders? I'll help you. For every 1/3 the 7th graders raised. Go for it, Abby.
For every $150 that the 7th graders plan to make, the 6th graders.
Let's do this. Let's just keep with the 7th graders. So for every 1/3 the 7th graders raise, how much money would that be?
150.
Yeah, so for every 1/3 you would add 150. All right, our next one are the 8th graders. Oh, those 8th graders, how'd they do? Hayden, what do you think? Yeah, how'd you at 3/4? Let's check that one out. Okay. Okay. And how did you know how big one piece was? Okay. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to do 4 total pieces because you told me it's divided up into 4s. 2, 3, 4. All right. So if we have 3/4, how much money is that, Hayden? Would you like to do 1/4 first? Yeah, let's do 1/4. How could we figure out what 1/4 would be? Well, let's divide it by 4 because we have a total of 4 pieces. Now this one, I'm going to tell you, is going to not be a whole number. Okay? So 3 does not go into 1, but it goes into 15 how many times, guys? Everybody? Okay, hold on. Think for just a minute. That was... Okay, how many times will 3 go into 15? Oh, but I have to divide by 4. That's why we're so confused. Oh my gosh. There we go. All right, how many times does 4 go into 15?
3.
There we go. Now we're all on the same page. And how many times will 4 go into 30? 7. Okay, I'm gonna have to go below here. Oh, Liv, don't worry. I'm gonna put in a decimal and then bring down a 0. How many times will 4 go into 20? 5. Okay, so every time they raise a 4th, that is $37.5 or $37.50. So how are we gonna figure out 3/4? What are we gonna do? Oh, we have 2 different strategies. We could either, I heard you guys say, we could either multiply by 3, or we could subtract from 150. Either one of those would work. Who has an answer for what we should get for that one? Nico, what are you thinking?
112.5?
Yeah, $112.50. Okay, the last one is the teachers. Now I'm going to tell you guys, I saw some of you write that you split this up into fifths. I will tell you fifths are not correct. And that's because they went over their goal. So when we do this one, we have to make sure we're going to take this part right here, and we're going to see how many times this fits in. Okay. And so if we just look at our whole, move this up a little bit. If we just look at our whole, right here, okay, this is our whole. This is, I think I made it maybe a little too big. I'll move this down a little bit. There we go. What? Hold on just a minute. This will go in 4 times, okay? We'll finish this tomorrow.